You're watching Twin Tier Sunday with Jennifer Sheahen.
You don't expect to hear music like this on one of the coldest places on Earth. Mansfield music professor Joe Murphy is headed to Antarctica with a group from the Philadelphia Commonwealth Youth Choir. The last choir to sing for a group of scientists on King George Island, Antarctica, was the Keystone State Boys Choir. And this December, Joe will be packing his saxophone with the group as they bring a bit of Christmas warmth to a very cold part of the globe.
So Joseph Murphy, welcome to the show. We're down here at Mansfield University, and I just told you a little bit about what Joe is working on, not only in the past, but in the future. And Joe, how did you get involved with music?
I got involved in music like most young kids in a school band program. I was growing up in Catonsville, Maryland, and they had an exploratory year during the fourth grade year. You got to try all the different instruments, and then for fifth grade, you got to start the instrument you wanted. So I immediately loved the saxophone, mainly because of the way it looked. I also loved the sound, but it looked like a wonderful instrument, so that's why I chose the saxophone.
And then why did you continue on with it? I mean, that's one thing to start with. I think we all start in music and we want to play something in fourth grade, in fifth grade. Then you continued on with that. Why did you choose to stay with the saxophone? I mean, now playing around the globe.
I guess I can credit my high school band director. She was a wonderful band director. This happened to be in Ohio by now, a small town south of Canton, Ohio called New Philadelphia. A wonderful band director who forced us to count and learn all our scales and play some pretty difficult music. So I guess I credit my high school band director.
Perfect. And then you went on to college then and you continued playing. What were some of the big feats that you had to tackle while you were in college playing?
Well, almost every year you give a recital. And then there are competitions during the year, like a concerto competition to be able to play with the university group like most universities have. So again, I really credit the teachers. I had a wonderful high school teacher. I had a wonderful teacher in undergraduate school. So I really find myself lucky for having good teachers in my past.
That's wonderful. And then now you are at this point traveling around the world. You've been traveling everywhere. Why is it that you're choosing to do this? I mean, it's kind of a big feat. You can go in your backyard and play. You can play at a concert, at the university, but you're choosing to go around the globe. Is it, I guess, a certain kind of passion it takes to do that?
Yeah, I guess it started out mainly as being involved in professional organizations. Like, for example, in the U.S., we have something called the North American Saxophone Alliance, or the other NASA. So that includes Canada and Mexico. And I've been involved in the North American Saxophone Alliance pretty much my whole professional career. And they have conferences every year, so I've always gone to those conferences. And internationally, there's also an organization called the World Saxophone Congress. And they have an international conference every 3 years, so I've gone to almost all of those. So the travel started out primarily as professional organizations.
Welcome back. We are still here down at Mansfield University. Okay, get this, 50 states, 23 countries, 6 continents. A feat this man has performed everywhere on the globe, and it's just incredible the amount of, I guess, talent and passion it takes to do that. Do you remember the first time you set out, or first big concert that you said, you know what, I want to keep traveling, I want to keep playing?
I guess the first one was after my senior year in high school. I went with a travel abroad band and very much enjoyed that. We went to like 6 or 7 different countries in 2 weeks and really enjoyed that. That was with a band, so a fairly large concert band. But the first time I did solo internationally was at the World Saxophone Congress in Nuremberg in 1982. And just loved not only just the performing, but hearing other great performers and beautiful venues and hearing some great pieces.
That's incredible. What was, I guess, in the States, what was one of the most memorable concerts that you've performed at, or something that always stuck out that was a little bit different than the others?
Oh, well, a lot of the concerts that I play are with a guitarist, Matt Slotkin. We have a duo, and we play all kinds of venues, universities, high schools, elementary schools, concert series. So some of the ones that stick out are like some of the concert series we've played at Chautauqua, a beautiful setting. Some of the others stick out, like playing at an elementary school in Vermont for like 400 kids there. It's really quite the gamut of different concerts.
That's incredible. And when you were overseas, what country was your favorite to play in? I mean, that's you've been a lot of places. Not a lot of people get that opportunity.
Wow, I really can't pinpoint one country, but I guess it's the variety of in South Africa, and then in Australia, I had wonderful audiences, and in Thailand and Bangkok. So I guess it's just the diversity of the audiences and seeing how enthusiastic they are about the music.
No, that's absolutely wonderful. And I know when I was growing up, I started playing piano when I was 5 years old. And every summer we would go to Poland to see my family for 3 or 4 months. And my mom wanted to keep the practice of music going. So I had a teacher in Poland. Mind you, we couldn't understand each other, but we understood the music. And do you find that so true, that this is really, no matter where you are, this is something that every person, if you know music, you can relate to?
Yes, and interestingly, you mentioned Poland, because I also went to Poland, I think 2, maybe 3 years ago, and it's such a musical culture. It's amazing. And every culture has their different system of music education and different folk tunes that the kids grow up with. And but specifically, I was very impressed with the musicianship in Poland. Everybody loves music.
Definitely. And what is your favorite type of music to play? I mean, do you go out, on a concert and pick a variety of different things? Is it classical? How do you go about picking what you play?
It's primarily classical, which is kind of a broad term, but most of the music that I play with the guitarist Matt Slotkin is music written for us, so by composers that we know and that we work with. We have about 25 pieces that have been written for us, so we play mostly music written for us.
That is absolutely incredible. And tell me a little bit about Matt, too. Is he a local guy as well?
Matt, when I met him, he has all 3 of his music degrees from Eastman in Rochester. And as soon as he graduated from there, he came to work at Mansfield in, I believe, 2001. And he worked at Mansfield here for 10 years, and then he got a full-time job down at Bloomsburg. So he teaches in Bloomsburg, and I teach in Mansfield. So we meet in Williamsport halfway in between to rehearse.
That's awesome. All right. So how many times do you have to rehearse a year?
Oh, a year? Well, we rehearse almost every Wednesday.
Oh my gosh,
So
that's incredible.
not every Wednesday, maybe 3 times a week, or 3 times a month, excuse me.
And then how often are you performing now that you're teaching and things like that?
The duo plays 20 to 30 concerts a year. I play another, 5 or 10 of solo concerts or concerts with concert bands or something like that. So 30 to 40 a year.
All beautiful. Here's a little clip of the two of them playing for you. I hope you enjoyed that just as much as we have here. I've been researching your videos for the past few days here, and it's absolutely incredible what you and Mike can do. It's really, really nice. And coming after the break, I want to talk a little bit how students can get involved and continue their music passion, and he's actually going to play a little bit for you, so it's going to be nice. All right, welcome back. So tell me a little bit about the saxophone, what it is. For a lot of people, if you've never seen one, there is just tubes all over this thing.
Well, the saxophone is kind of a hybrid between a woodwind instrument like a clarinet or bassoon or oboe or something, and a brass instrument. It's made of brass, but it does have a reed and a mouthpiece like a clarinet. So, but it's certainly the youngest of the standard band instruments. It was invented in the 1840s. as opposed to the flute and the clarinet and the trumpet and all those other instruments that have been around for hundreds and hundreds of years. So,
And if somebody wants to get involved, it's also not the easiest instrument to play either, if I'm not mistaken.
well, actually, a lot of people say the saxophone is the easiest to play, but it actually is hard to play well. I think initially it is harder to get a sound out of the oboe or flute or clarinet or trumpet. So it's easy to make your initial sounds on the saxophone, but like any instrument, it's hard to play well.
That's incredible. For a student out there who is in high school, thinking about continuing, a lot of us, including me, when I went on to college, dropped my instrument. It almost became too hard and too big of a dream to keep playing music. What would you tell them? Because now you're a professor here, you're a successful musician. What would you tell the kid that's kind of wavering on whether or not to continue?
Well, here at Mansfield, and I'm sure at most schools, there are a lot of musicians who participate in ensembles who are not music majors. I have a couple saxophone students who aren't music majors, and I think they get a lot of enjoyment by continuing their music even if they're not a major.
That's wonderful. All right, and now I actually want you to hear a little bit today on how he plays right in front of you. So I'm So that was a little bit of a snippet and live look at what this man can do. It's very, very nice thing to see people still enjoying and playing music, because I feel it's almost getting lost sometimes. And you are actually hoping to inspire a bunch of kids too, and you guys are taking an adventurous trip, I hear, coming up in December. Tell us about that.
Yeah, with the Keystone State Boys Choir, I'll be going with them to Antarctica. So they've been there once before, but I've never been there, so that will be my 7th continent.
Oh my God. And let me just, are there people in Antarctica to play for?
I think just scientists, yeah.
Oh my
And we
gosh.
won't even be there overnight. We'll just be there 4 or 5 hours, arrive, look around, play a concert, and leave.
That's incredible. So how did they get, or how did you even get involved with an organization that goes to Antarctica? How did they get that opportunity?
Our choir director, Dr. Peggy Detweiler, she knows this choir and choir directors, so she put me in contact with them. So
Is this just like a trip they take every year? Or?
no, I think the last time they went was like 5 years ago.
Oh my gosh, incredible. It's a great opportunity for kids. And what are you hoping to see while you're down there?
Penguins.
There you go, penguins. That's what I'd want to see too. Perfect. All right. Thank you so much. Now, if somebody wants to look at more of your music or download it, where can they go?
I have 2 websites. My saxophone website is www.saxophone-education.com, or my duo website with the guitarist Matt Slotkin is duomontagnard.com, MONTAGNARD.
Perfect. All right. Any concerts coming up?
The 18th in Pulaski, Michigan, and then Sunday the 19th in Clark Summit, PA.
You guys are definitely traveling a lot. Are you married?
Yes.
So does she travel with you then?
Only for the fun trips.
Only for the fun ones.
International trips.
There you
yeah.
go. That's a lot. That's a great thing. Wonderful. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you taking out the time and coming and hanging out with me and letting me see your office. And good luck to you in Antarctica, too.
Thanks.
All right. Thank you, guys. We'll see you next week.